starting something new, Tuesday Talks, and we are starting something new. Whether it's a course, whether it's a program, whether it's setting up a business, whatever it is, there's much excitement right at the very beginning. And then as time goes by, the feeling of overwhelm, of being daunted by what you've just jumped into, starts to creep in. Well, we're going to look at 5 strategies, 5 things that will present themselves and how to overcome these. And the first one is the overwhelm bit. And the easiest way to get around that, I have found, is to map it out. So this new course that I've jumped into with much excitement and then become profoundly overwhelmed by, whoa, what was involved, what it offered, and what I needed to do to make my way through it. Map it out. There's a whole year to do, but there is a fallacy in that too, because sometimes you think, oh, I've got the whole year to do this, leave it for tomorrow. No, you need to map out what it is you're going to achieve this month, and then equally so, what it is you're going to achieve this week in order to achieve the end result at the end of the month. So overwhelm. Comparison. Oh man, sometimes we just look at other people who are likewise in the course, who are achieving massive results, and we are just still bumbling along, not achieving anything. Well, as a school teacher, I just had to remind myself that each child, each person learns and grows at their own pace. So don't compare yourself to others. And waiting to be perfect before doing your task, it's a bit like chasing the elusive rainbow. It's always over there, just out of reach. Oftentimes when we compare ourselves to somebody else, we're actually comparing ourselves, a newbie, to somebody who's been doing it for ages and ages, year in and year out. Then, of course, we have the challenge of technology. Wow. And for me, I have to admit that that's a really big challenge. So I've got over that by saying, what do I say? Every day it gets easier and easier. I'm learning something new today, and this is so much fun. This is easy, this is fun. Remembering that you have a choice. You have a choice as to what sort of attitude you're going to go into that technology. You can go in saying, oh man, I really hate this technology. It's such a battle. I find it so difficult. Well, that's sort of shutting down the barriers. That's, the window of learning. But if you go in there and saying, this is easy, this is fun, immediately, even just saying those words, you feel a lot different. This is easy, this is fun. It's like a party feeling, isn't it? But, oh man, the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and it is going to be hard. So it's attitude, just flip it. And then we have the voice. And you get into a new course, you get into a new training, whatever, so excited. And sometimes success is slow. And then that blessed voice, which, is sitting on our shoulder from the moment we're born to the moment we die. And that's when it starts talking. That's when you have to have a really strong why. I often say to get in the back seat. I know you're here with me on this journey until the end, but, get in the back seat and stop annoying me. I'm the one in the driver's seat. And having a really strong why will push through that barrier of whatever it is that voice is yakking to you in your ear. And then time, oh man, where does that saying, oh man, comes from? But boy, oh boy, maybe from the grandchildren many years ago. And they were boys too at that point. Anyway, back on track. Time. Gosh, being at school was probably far more productive initially than being at home, because, even though I have places, depending on what the weather is like, this is my winter office, and then I have a summer office on the other side of the house. However, sorry, lost the plot there. Time. Working at home, one has to be really so disciplined and organized and scheduled, because the dogs are barking. Am I expecting somebody today who's driving up the driveway? The washing needs to be done. The washing machine's finished and need to get those clothes hung out whilst the sun is shining. Just one thing after another pops in, and it has taken me a long time to be able to schedule myself and be really disciplined. And in one of my courses I did with Kat Colroy, wonderful, wonderful lady, she talks about working for 60 minutes and having a 10-minute break and really being devoted to that 10 minutes. Have a timer on for that 10 minutes and bang, you're back in the office. 60 minutes, 10 minutes off. Or, if it works better, 50 minutes, 10 minutes off. But find out what works for you and realize that whatever it is, whether it's a sporting, a training, a new venture, a business, whatever it is for you, there are going to be the challenges. And I hope the outline that I've given you has helped you.